Hey, welcome to the updated version of my Lightning Arrow Deadeye. This is going to be the last video that I post for the Lightning Arrow Deadeye, as all of you have asked for an update because I did change a lot of things. Here it is. Just to let you know, I will answer a couple of questions. I'm going to show you a few things, but this is not going to be treated as a guide because I'm not going to explain everything. If you don't understand something, please go to the previous video because that's where you start from. If you want to level up a Deadeye or you just got to the end game, this video is not really for you. You need to go to the other one because this one is not a cheap build and I'm not going to be explaining stuff. I'm just going to show you what I use, why I use it, and then you take it from there. And that's basically it. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you're playing this build in the comment section down below. And that's basically it. Let's begin. So just for context, what this build is capable of, we have killed Uber Arbiter, which means that we can kill every single pinnacle boss. And not only that, but every single day over on the stream, we're doing more than 50 fully juiced maps, and here's the proof of it. So this is the build that I'm actually using to do maps within 2 minutes. So just letting you know, okay? Now, first question that a lot of you guys are asking me is, how do you have the orange lightning? This is literally an MTX. An MTX is a skin which you purchase with real money through the microtransaction store, and that's basically it. Here it is. Now, let's go to the basics of the build. What is this build and what's the point of the build? First of all, we don't play with the surround tech and we don't play with the Viper's cap, as you see. Surround tech, I think that 80% of everybody that's playing Lightning Arrow is playing that, so I didn't want to do the same thing. This is a balance of everything that I can think of that I want to play. So for example, we've got 50% evasion outside of combat. In combat, it goes around 58, which is a very good and stable position to be in defensively. As you can see, I've got everything capped apart from chaos. 21% is not bad, better than 0, but you can push a little bit higher if you want to. As you can see, we've got almost 5,000 energy shield and 1,300 life. We've got 206 spirit. I'm going to show you how we got it and what we use. Then our movement speed, if we scroll all the way down, is at 74%. We're not the speediest and we're not the slowest out there. We can go around 100% in combat, which is not bad. So we have a little bit of that. But the best part is that we have all of this and we're not sacrificing damage. As you can see, outside of combat, I've got 217,000 DPS on Lightning Arrow, and then almost 400,000 on Lightning Rod. And Lightning Arrow is with Nova Projectile. So if I take that out, it's a 362 with only 4 support gems. So if I add things like Deliberation, it goes to 435. So yeah, I didn't sacrifice damage for all of that. We just managed to get to the point where we can balance everything perfectly. And I'm gonna show you how. A very quick pause from our main video as I need to juice up my IRL tanks too. Today I wanted to show you instant gaming. Whenever I'm not grinding PoE 2, this is where I grab almost all of my other games for way cheaper. They've got Torchlight too for under $2, which is 92% off, or V-Rising for around $10 right now. Delivery is instant, there is no nonsense in between, and you can find and buy any game you want for way cheaper. Check them out through the link below and you're gonna save ton, and it also help support the channel. Back to the video. So first things first, yes, we are using cold shots. Cold shots, we get it from the Ascendancy, obviously. If we click on P, you're going to see it right here. Instead of going for Wind Ward, which is a more defensive node, in case you're dying too much, you can go for that. Within cold shots, we're going to go with Voltaic Mark, which is going to shock the target. It's going to burst them whenever they die, and that's basically it. Cool stuff. Elemental Armament rank 2, Long Shot rank 2, Deliberation, and Magnified Area rank 2. On cold shots. Lightning Arrow, we currently have it at level 20, which is maxed out by default, and we have it at level 30 based on our gear and everything else that we're getting, which is boosting the damage, is boosting the levels and all that good stuff. It's quality all the way up to 20%, and the support gems are things like Elemental Armament rank 2, Stoicism rank 2 for that extra buff, Projectile Acceleration rank 2, Nova Projectiles, and Rakiata's Flow. A lot of you guys are asking me, what is Rakiata's Flow, and is it actually mandatory? First of all, what Rakiata's does is it inverts the enemy's elemental resistances towards you. So if a boss has 75% resistance, it will have negative 75% resistance, which is going to cause you to deal more damage. Is it mandatory? Super late endgame, it's kind of mandatory, but you can switch this out for something else, and that something else is one of these 3. For example, Fork, you're not going to put Fork here if you're using Nova Projectiles, but you're going to put Deliberation, for example, instead of Rakiata's Flow, which is also going to increase your damage a ton, or rapid attacks if you want that extra speed. That's the alternative there for Rakiata's flow. It's not that bad, or you can go for Lightning Attunement. If you don't like the play of Nova Projectiles, which is insanely fun, by the way, as you can see, if you don't want it because it cuts your damage by a ton, by 40% to be specific, you can go for the second best thing, which is Fork. It's not going to surround you with the projectiles, but Fork is going to deal a lot of AoE, which is also a very, very good alternative. Second thing that is good for you to know is my crit. I've got 42.46% crit hit, and I have 484% critical damage bonus, which is what I was saying before, that we have the best of both worlds. We are speedy, we are dealing damage, we have 5k energy shield, we've got a ton of spirit, we're capped with our resistances, and on top of all that, we have pretty good crit, so not bad. Moving on, Lightning Rod. What makes this insane damage right here? As you can see, it's still level 30, and we have support gems, once again, Elemental Armament rank 2, Deliberation in here, Projectile Acceleration, we have Elemental Focus, and Concentrated Area. This spell completely annihilates bosses, destroys them. I showcased multiple times on stream last night how we literally killed bosses only by spamming Lightning Rod. We didn't even cast a single Lightning Arrow, which is very, very broken. Moving on, we've got Barrage. Barrage is going to be used for bosses primarily. Sometimes you can click it for mapping if you have a ton of breaches and it's very, very packed. But the three support gems that I currently use is Rapid Casting rank 2, Cooldown Recovery rank 2, and Second Wind rank 2. That's basically it. Tornado Shot remains almost the same with Overabundance rank 2, Concentrated Area, Blind rank 2, and then Rapid Attacks rank 2 as well. Rhoa Mount, our first aura right here, which is going to reserve 60 spirit. We have 3 support gems, and I want to explain something here. We've got Loyalty, we've got Minion Mastery, and we've got Brutus Brain. Brutus Brain, for anybody who doesn't know, it's very cheap. You can purchase it from Ange. It's going to cost a couple of Exalted, maybe even 1. And what it does, it makes your minion not deal any damage, but also not receive any damage. Now, regarding Loyalty, if anybody knows the answer to this, let me know in the comments down below. But what Loyalty says it does is 10% of damage from hits is taken from supported companion's life before you. Now, this doesn't say that it doesn't work with Brutus. We cannot test it because the companion doesn't take any life or damage or whatever, but it still doesn't mean that he doesn't actually take the damage that he prevents us from taking first. So if anybody has tested this or anybody knows how we can confirm that, let me know in the comments down below. But you're not going to miss anything by just having this here. Moving forward, we've got Herald of Thunder with Elemental Armament rank 2, Elemental Focus, Long Shot rank 2, Magnified Area rank 1, so we don't miss that extra damage, and Calling Strike rank 1, so you can call the rares and the unique enemies. Moving forward, we've got one of our best defensive auras, which is Wind Dancer, and we've got Magnified Area 1, Maim, we have Calling Strike rank 2, and we have a knockback so we can have a bigger distance of knockback. Then we have Ghost Dance for the energy shield recharge. We have for support gems, we've got Compressed Duration rank 2 and Clarity rank 2 because we have that extra spirit, which we're going to cover in just a second, which helps us with our mana regen. And last but not least, the most recent addition to this build, which has made this build so much more fun visually and aesthetically, and also deals a ton of damage, is Herald of Ash. However, we have it at level 5. And here we have Magnified Area rank 2 and Fire Mastery. Now, regarding the gear, we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to start with the basics. So, helmet, as you can see, it's full energy shield. Nothing changes here. I'm covering resistances, and I'm getting a ton of rarity on my helmet. Then our chest is how we're getting the first step of the extra spirit. So the chest has 1200 evasion and a ton of energy shield, which is a hybrid. We're getting some cold resistance, some fire resistance, and we're getting 2 very important stats on the chest. Number 1, deflection rating, 22% of our evasion, and 54 to spirit. Next, the boots. The boots are the proper boots that everybody's going for in the late endgame, which cost a ton. But for me, right here, as you can see, I've got 30% movement speed plus the 20% movement speed from the actual sockets, which is the Rune of the Chase, the 5% increase in movement speed. We've got the 100% increase effect of the sockets, lightning resistance, and some rarity as a full energy shield boots. Next, we've got the gloves. The gloves are a little bit special here. It has a little bit of everything, and these are pretty good gloves right there. We have physical damage flat, lightning damage flat, and fire damage flat. All of these are tier 1s and 2s. Physical and fire are 1, lightning is 2. Then we have rarity, attack speed, and of course the increased effect of the sockets. And the sockets within the gloves are called the Talisman of Sirius, which gives you the attack speed, which is why you see I get 32% extra attack speed, which provides us with a ton of damage. The belt is Ingenuity utility belt with very, very high percentages. We've got 32 and 36, which is very good, but be careful that these two mods don't actually screw you over. You want to make sure that you get increased charm charges gained and reduced charm charges used. Don't get increased charm charges used because that's going to completely scuff your charms. Okay, now you can also go with Headhunters. I've tried it with Headhunters for a very long time, and personally I don't like the playstyle of Headhunters, but it's really, really good. But it's up to you. You do you, right? Headhunters is really good. It's going to provide you a lot of utility, a lot of damage, blinking around, all that stuff. I don't like the playstyle. That's why I go for Ingenuity. And your third option of a belt is going to be the Dark Enthroned, I think it's called. You want to convert it into gloves. The mod with over 100% glove effect, and you add 2 more Siriuses in there for extra damage and extra speed, or you can do that belt as boots and add even more movement speed if that's what you care about. Next, we've got my rings. Ring number 1 has 2 flat damagers, physical and lightning. We also have increased lightning damage. We have rarity, elemental resistance, and fire resistance. And my second ring has physical damage, fire damage. It has rarity, elemental resistances, fire and chaos resistance, and most importantly, physical mana leeching on our ring, so we don't suffer with the mana, which this mana part is 1 out of 2 necessary things that you guys need to do with this build so you don't have an issue with your mana. Remember that. I'm going to cover the second step in a second when we go to the passive tree. Then the amulet has the second part of our spirit. It has 40 spirit on the amulet and 12 on the actual base. You want to have at least 50 on your amulet to be able to support this build. So I'm going for the max defenses here and balancing the defenses with attack. That's how we get the perfect result in the best of both worlds, right? So 36% increased maximum energy shield. We have 24% global defenses, and then we stack the damage. And this is where my defenses go up because we are allocating patient barrier. And if you don't know what patient barrier is, it gives you 60% increased maximum energy shield. But patient barrier does nothing if your base energy shield is not high already. If you have 1,000, I mean 60% is not that great. But if you have 3K or 4K, that's going to push you even more. Before that, you can go with Subterfuge Mask, and I'm going to show you how you're going to path to it on the passive tree. However, here's a nice little tip here. I would recommend you to not go for damagers on your allocation for the amulet, because this build is getting damage stacking and multipliers and additives from so many other sources that you're actually a glass cannon if you don't focus on defenses on things like these. Moving on, we've got the Quiver. Quiver is pretty good here. We've got 2 on the projectiles: physical flat damager, damage with bow skills, critical hit, attack speed, projectile speed, and critical hit chance for attacks as our base Quiver, which is the Visceral Quiver. The bow that I currently have is not the best, it's not the worst. It's a decent bow that I could have afforded. I can buy something a lot better, but I'm not going to. It doesn't matter for me at the moment. But as you can see, I've got high physical damage. Critical hit chance is at 5%, a total of 10. Then we have attack speed at 23. 4 to level of attack skills, not projectile skills. You know why I went for level of attacks instead of projectiles? Because projectiles are going to boost 2 skills: arrow and rod. Attacks are boosting everything that we currently have. It's so much better to go for level of attacks, in my personal opinion, and that's basically it. Personally, my opinion between those 3 bows, which one is the best? Probably Warmonger is going to be the better one for late endgame, but whatever you can afford to get a bow with the best possible stats and the best possible mods should be your priority before you go into what you decide to get as a base. The charms that I currently have are Golden Charm, then we have the Fall of the Axe Silver Charm, charm. And lastly, we've got the thawing charm for the freeze. Now, last but not least, we've got the ascendancy and our passives. I think ascendancy is very straightforward. We go for point blank, we go endless munition, then cold shots, as I told you before, and of course, gathering winds for the tailwind. Now, regarding the passive skill tree, I believe that it's one of the most important things to have a good, viable build. It doesn't matter if you have the best bow in the world, mirrored bow, best build, obviously you're going to deal damage, but if you don't have a good, balanced passive skill tree, the build is not going to be as viable. So I'm going to slow down a little bit here because this is the most important part for you guys to understand. Everything that I've done on my tree is based on my jewels. So here, as you can see, I'm going to have a lot more nodes than other builds that you will see. Why I'm going for all of this is because of the jewel that I have here, the Time Lost. As you can see, this is a very, very good jewel. It's a large one, which is covering all of these nodes right here. And just because I had this Time Lost jewel, I decided to invest into these nodes. Otherwise, I don't think that freedom of movement or even cooked would be mandatory for this build, but this is what I went for and it works like a charm. Next, what I wanted to show you is this whole tech, which is one of my favorite things in this patch right now. And unfortunately, Maxroll is not going to preview it correctly. So if you have any questions, only the video is going to be able to show you visually what it looks like. So as you can see, there's a lot of circles. We have a lot of nodes here that we're picking up. There's a huge tech involved here, and it's actually beautiful. And the reason why this is happening is because of two jewels. Jewel number one is the From Nothing diamond with the Walker of the Wilds that can be allocated wherever you want. So you get this jewel, you put it somewhere at the very south or the very north of your slots. It doesn't matter. Once you do that, the first actual ring is going to be available. Within that ring, we can take whatever we want here that is good. The second jewel that ties this all together beautifully is going to be the Against the Darkness, and I have 4 and 4% on lightning damage and extra fire damage. It doesn't matter what you have, or a normal, I could also slot this. This is what I had before. I managed to get the 4/4, but everything and anything that we put here is going to get hit from the things that we actually got. From the things, what I mean is from the notables. So as you can see, this is going to hit every single notable within the second ring. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 times 4% extra fire and 5 times 4% extra lightning damage. In addition to all of this, the second most important thing for the mana, you guys remember I told you to remember the mana leeching on the ring thing? The second part, so you never have an issue, is actually going to be Walker of the Wilds. Having Walker of the Wilds and having the mana leeching on the ring or the glove, you will never ever have an issue in combat with mana. Simple as that. Moving on from this one, you're going to see that I pathed on the left side, and the reason why I did that is so I can get myself wrapped Quiver because it's very, very overpowered. And then I decided to actually use 5 extra points so I can path to Subterfuge Mask, so I can then be able to allocate Patient Barrier, so we're no longer a glass cannon and we get the best for our defenses. Now, someone asked me, wait, why did you path to Subterfuge Mask and you didn't path for Patient Barrier? It's going to take you the same skill points, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're getting 8 intelligence, which we don't need at this point. We get 15 extra maximum energy shield, which is good, and Patient Barrier for the same points. However, if you path manually to Subterfuge Mask instead, you get more benefits. Why? Because of these two nodes right here. You get 24% on the evasion and 24% extra on the energy shield. So definitely pathing for 5 points to Subterfuge Mask is better than pathing to Patient Barrier. We have the 5th jewel right here, which is going to be a Heart of the Well. You can either go for a good Heart of the Well. I don't have a perfect one. As you can see, I can invest for a better one. You can also go for good jewels like these ones, which I personally prefer over the Heart of the Well that are mediocre, right? So you can get 20% maximum energy shield, 10 on critical hit, 19 on critical damage bonus, and 5% on elemental damage. But that's basically it when it comes down to the passive tree and all my jewels and all that stuff. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. That's going to be the last update for the Lightning Arrow. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this guide, if I can call it a guide, and this update. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you like these kind of updates and all of that. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you so much for your support recently. And of course, join us live over on Twitch. We're having a lot of fun these days, and I will actually start my very first journey of hardcore SSF next week, so I'm really hyped up for that. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Peace.